I moved here a few months ago to start working in the music media production department at Ball State. The album that first sticks in my mind is Rubber Soul by the Beatles, released in 1965. I was 10 years old, so I wasn't fully developed then, but I remember my brother had a record player with detachable speakers, so you could put them on the floor, and this was before the days of headphones. And I remember, I guess I figured this out, that I could put the speakers a few feet apart and lay down and put my head between them and lay on my back and listen to the record. And it just blew my mind. I'd never heard a sitar before. I'd never heard that kind of harmony. And in this stereo field with this beautifully recorded sound, it was like stars coming out and your head going into a different dimension. I didn't have words for it when I was 10 years old, and I didn't have a lot of world experience, and color TV hadn't been out that long, and it was just sensory overload and sort of stimulated, like the music of the spheres. Somehow you hear, this is coming from some place that you didn't know existed, and it was just a new world. I didn't know that kind of thing could exist. My dad had introduced me to tape recorders before that, and so I was kind of familiar with the process. But it was a 2-track tape recorder, but he only had one microphone. So we never really learned or had that experience of the stereo field. So the stereo quality combined with the care and production that went into this album when they took a month created a different kind of sound. And just the texture of the sound, the effects, the close harmonies, and in this stereo world that I was putting my head inside just spun me around. And I think that's what really set me on the track of wanting to make music in the studio, because it never sounds as good as when you're listening with the perfect headphones, or you're right between the speakers. And what makes me the happiest is to be in the studio with this perfect sound. And I think it really goes back to hearing the Beatles. Of course, the music was so amazing too, and the combination of the great songs with the production and all the newness of it and being in the air really had such a strong effect on me.